Welcome back. You're watching Random Lunacy with Dane Edson and my special guest, Greg Walker. There's three primary things you do, Greg. I understand is mold, termite, and pest control.
Right.
Okay. Now, a lot of people know about termite. A lot of people know about pest control. But why is it important to get your house inspected for mold?
Well, mold, mold is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's mold, around us right now. And some people it doesn't, mold doesn't affect. But mainly elderly people and younger kids, especially if they have breathing problems or anything,
Mm-hmm.
are more susceptible, to get sick from mold.
Mm-hmm.
It can cause various problems, and we've actually done houses, and the people when we come back the next year to do an inspection on it to make sure everything's okay and the mold didn't come back, we actually had people tell us, I don't have to go to the doctor as much.
Really?
I don't have to take
Wow.
as much medication. I don't know what y'all did, but I'm breathing a lot easier. Really the mold part of it, we kind of accidentally stumbled into doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a separate entity from the pest and termite. The Department of Agriculture does not recognize mold as a problem.
They don't.
No.
It has a problem. I see the damage it can do, too.
Yeah, it has to go into the next step, which is called wood-destroying fungus, which is anything above 28% moisture in the wood, say in a crawl space.
Mm-hmm.
And I have seen it so bad to where you've actually had water dripping down off the floor joist. And once it gets into the wood-destroying fungus stage, it could actually do damage quicker and a lot more widespread than termites.
So when you're saying wood destroy, you mean literally destroy the wood?
Right. It'll so much moisture will actually consume the wood that it'll basically almost be like a sponge.
And that means it can't support any weight on the floor?
Right. The floors start to get weak, start to sag.
Chimneys that go to the...
Yeah. I mean, I've actually seen it to where your ceiling has actually dropped and separated from the roof line because of it.
By that time, we're talking some major money repairs and things, but
yeah,
I
normally
guess there.
Normally when it gets that bad, you probably need to call a contractor.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So and we're going to be showing some pictures and the last segment, showing some pictures of termite damage. So make sure that with last segment with Greg, but now. When a person, can a person see mold? I mean, they don't have to see it to know that to have the problem. It can be working behind the scenes
Oh yeah.
behind the walls.
Yeah, mold is actually, microscopic until it grows
It's spores,
and
isn't it?
colonizes. Right, and
It's a spore.
it actually start out invisible, then you'll start to see some growth and colonization.
What does it look like? If you mold in the house, what would that look like?
Well, it really depends on what type of mold.
Maybe like a black spot?
Some people say the black mold is the deadly mold.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the name I think is Stachybotrys.
Mm-hmm.
And the history of the black mold is a lot of times associated with floods.
Well,
The house gets flooded, you start to see black mold.
how about our shower hitting wood all the time?
Yeah, if it gets on the wood. Now, the thing with it on wood being a porous material, the mold, if you remove it from the surface, you still haven't killed it. Because it actually take root, and you just clean the surface, then a little while later it could actually come back.
So like a guy that says, well, I take my Clorox bleach out and I'll just scrub it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Yeah,
topical.
Yeah, that'll work on tile and you know, things of that nature, like in your bathroom, showers, and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But on, like I said, porous materials such as, you know, wood, even cinder blocks, will actually absorb, you know, moisture and everything. And
So mold will actually grow and spread and destroy more and more wood if left untreated.
yes, over the years, it can pretty much take over.
So,
You know, down here it's a lot more in the crawl spaces, and people walking on their floors, and they're jarring those little spores loose, and they're becoming airborne, and then they're attaching, you know, just spreading.
so now your website is juniorspestcontrol.com,
.com,
www.juniorspestcontrol.com, just like it sounds.
Yep.
And your phone number is?
229-248-0093.
Okay, and so if they have like a question about mold, even if they don't want to do business, they have a question, they can call you, right?
Oh yeah, we get calls all the time, just people,
Okay.
you know, curious.
Now, when you treat mold, what is involved in that?
Well, to give you an example, on a crawl space, and especially if your crawl space has your central unit ductwork in the crawl space, one of the main concerns would be to shut off the central unit, so during the cleaning process, it doesn't spread and get sucked up in case you've got a duct leak or, you know, something of that nature up underneath your house. And when we do it, we'll seal off all the vents, and we've got a few fans we'll actually stick in the crawl hole and seal it up. And what we're trying to accomplish there is to create enough back pressure and have whatever does go airborne sucked out from underneath the house.
Okay.
And, you know, depending on the size of the house, it could take up to a day to 2 or 3 days of basically disinfecting, scrubbing with brushes, wiping down with cloths,
So
and
you actually have to wipe down the wood and
yeah, you got to every inch of it.
so we have that treatment there, and do you have a guarantee on that? Like when is it hard to guarantee?
Well, we come back after the cleaning process and we allow everything to dry out, and we apply a mold inhibitor that is actually supposed to prevent the mold to come back.
What is a mold inhibitor? You mean the chemical?
Right. It's actually a chemical, and you basically, we spray it on the wood.
Okay.
And
all right.
And the company that on the product that we use, they give a 25-year guarantee.
Now, are you the only one in the county that does mold treatments?
Well, I've been hearing there's a few
We
places.
got 1 minute.
A few places doing it, but you know they're not doing it. They're not doing it according to OSHA standards.
Right. So you're very careful about that then.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got to protect your workers.
Well, we're going to be talking about pest control next, and we're going to get the perspective of one of your employees.
Okay.
You may be able to fire him, but you can't get him away from the family, so something to consider.
Yeah.
And Brother Scott, and we're going to be talking about pest control, and then when we come back, we're going to be showing some pictures while we talk. We'll be showing about 5 pictures of termite damage and the importance of getting termite treated in your home, different things. Well, we'll be back in a moment. You're watching Reigning Lunacy, and my guest is Junior's Pest Control.